Welcome back to the video. Today we're back from an NFL video. Today, doing continuing our player prediction series, talking about one player per team for each team, and then we'll be doing a team prediction series after that. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel for a bunch of football content. You guys really seem to like the tier list videos. Well, really every tier list video you guys seem to like, so I will definitely keep doing those. I like doing them, and you guys seem to like them a lot. And then as far as the Bryce Young video, you guys seem to like a lot too. So definitely continuing this series. The 49ers is a major outlier within this series because it's not like one player, because I wanted to talk about their quarterback situation, but there's a lot of different people, I guess all three of them, that you really have to take into account. And so we're going to start with Sam Darnold. So being a Panthers fan, I did get to see a lot of Darnold, and it wasn't always good. I'm going to show his stats from last season, which I know is not the biggest sample size, and it should probably go off what he did the previous year. But I do want to I do want to show his most recent to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, because last season he really did not have that bad of a year. I mean, he came in to the Panthers team that was just like, it was just bad. I mean, there was no hope the last season, and then he came in and he honestly did give us a playoff push, and I think a lot of the fans were very kind of appreciative of that. And so Darnold, his best game was against Tampa Bay, where he unfortunately lost by 6, which would have won them the division, gone to the playoffs. But he threw for 341 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And honestly, his first game with an interception was that game, and then he finished off the season with 2 and didn't have a great game there. But, I mean, he only attempted 15 passes for 43 yards. The game didn't matter anyway. So, really, the games he played, he actually played pretty well in. I mean, the Denver defense was very good. He didn't turn the ball over. He was very careful. That's his first game playing as well. And he had a touchdown pass to, I believe it was DJ Moore. So, he definitely took care of the ball. He did a lot of things right. And now he's gone. He's in San Francisco. And I think this is honestly going to be huge for him. If he's ever going to become anything as far as a decent starter in the NFL, the 49ers right now could be a turning point in his career, because Darnold, as bad as he's been in the past, he really just hasn't had the best weapons in his career, no matter where he's been. Whether he was in the Jets or whether he was in Carolina, he just didn't have the best weapons. DJ Moore is great, and he's been able to put up numbers with no matter who's at quarterback. But Darnold, other than that, and he hasn't had a good coach. Matt Rule is a horrible, horrible coach. So I do think that maybe if he gets some decent minutes in San Francisco, he could actually put some pretty decent numbers and just really show what he can actually do. Whether that's going to be a lot or better than his competition, I don't know, but he should be a decent option. So for any San Francisco guys, I don't know a whole lot about him. Darnold is honestly a pretty good player, more so than what people like to, I think, give him credit for. But don't expect him to light it up for like 4 touchdowns, 350 yards, every like 3 weeks. It's just not going to happen. But next, we're going to go to Mr. I guess we'll call him relevant, because that is exactly what in the world is going on, because that is exactly what he made himself last season. Brock Purdy, I guess, is really kind of one-of-one for what he managed to do, because I don't think there's ever been a Mr. Irrelevant that had the season that he had. So first, we're going to go to regular season. Let's start, I guess, Miami, I guess, is his biggest one, because the rest of those are, he didn't really do anything. Not sure why those are on there. But yeah, so by far his best, well, I guess not by far, but his best game was probably against Las Vegas, where he threw for 200 and I think it says 84 yards and 2 touchdowns with 1 interception, which, very solid. 1 in overtime as well by 3 points. And then he also goes into the playoffs and wins 41-23 against Seattle for 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, which is his best game overall. But I meant, Las Vegas his best, regular season. And then against Dallas, 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. They still win. And then, of course, he gets hurt very early on in that Philadelphia game. But what Brock Purdy was able to do, and I'm not going to lie, before these videos, I always try and refresh myself, go over some of their tape, their highlights, their film, all that kind of stuff, and see, like what they managed to do. And I've said this before on the channel, as far as Brock Purdy goes, that, he's a great quarterback, but he did, I think, look a bit better than what he really was because of how good his scheme was as far as his coaching and his weapons and all that. But something that I will definitely give him credit for, because, and also, don't get me wrong saying that, he's a great quarterback, but it definitely makes his life easier having, like McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk, Samuel, and, all these weapons with a great coach. But, and he still did a great job. But something I want to give him credit for that not all quarterbacks can do, despite his great situation, is he extended plays very, very well. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't really realize that watching him at the time, like last season. until I went back over and I'm like, wow, he there were some plays where he really scrambled around constantly, extending the play, and he didn't force something. He didn't just end up throwing it away. He managed to actually find a guy open, or even in a tight window, get the ball there. I know one was a pass, I think, to Brandon Ayuk that he dropped in the end zone. That would have been a crazy play, crazy throw. Didn't count, but it's still, a great way to extend the play. But Purdy did a lot of that, and for a rookie with not a lot of experience, that is very tough to do, especially going to the postseason and continuing to do that. I mean, it's very applaudable. So that's awesome to see from him. And then, of course, he suffered that elbow injury against Philadelphia in the playoffs. I'm not going to argue over whether they would have won that game or not with Purdy in. It definitely would have been more competitive than what it was, but, it is what it is at that point. You can't get back and change it, unfortunately. It does say, actually, I think just right on here, before I click, I think just overview, it does say that, yeah, just as of 1 day ago, Purdy remains on track to be ready for the start of the 2023 season. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know. That's what they're saying. It doesn't always, come out that way. But if that's the case, that's absolutely great for him. He deserves it. And, there's still stuff to talk about, though, because there's still Darnold and there's still one more player. And we're going to move on to him right now, and that is Trey Lance. So Trey Lance, I think it is incredibly unfair to label him as a bust because he, first off, against Chicago, yes, they lost that game. They were the better team, but that game was played in just an absolute just downpour of rain. I mean, it was like puddles and puddles on the field. No one could even run. People were slipping and sliding. That's not really the best, look on how good of a player is. It's incredibly rare and hard conditions to play in. So to judge a quarterback off that is just really come on. It was 19-10. It wasn't like it was some crazy high scoring game where both teams were on fire. It was just like who could not fall in the puddle the most, basically. And then of course against Seattle, very early on, he breaks his ankle or foot or whatever that was. That really did not look good, and we haven't seen him since. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to Trey Lance is that, he was selected 3rd overall. It's not like you got him in a later round. It's not like you got, even Jordan Love going later in the 1st round. It's not like it's one of those things. You went and got him 3rd overall. This was supposed to be your franchise guy, and he hasn't shown it yet. But to be fair to Trey, he's got very, very unlucky. When he has been in the past, he's made things happen. He's scored touchdowns. These are his 2022 stats. We can go ahead and go to 2021, where things were a bit different for him, and he got in, he proved he can play football. Against the Texans, 249 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 192 against the Cardinals, even though they lose by 7. He is a capable quarterback. I don't think he's been able to show it yet, which is very unfortunate for him. And even worse, sometimes just how things go. You don't get a lot of second chances in the NFL. And it's very unlucky for him that Brock Purdy, literally Mr. Irrelevant, comes in, and as good as he is, it's tough. It's really tough for Trey Lance. Come back off an injury like that. Now you're not even projected to be the starter. And even if Purdy, can't play or gets hurt again or whatever it is, Darnold is a proven veteran. Even though he's not the best, he is still a veteran. He also has proven he can play. So then, from there, who do you go with? What do you do from there? It's a lot to take into account. And I'm sure you guys have your thoughts too, so be sure to let me know down below who should be the 49ers quarterback, whether that's Purdy or Lance or Darnold. Or maybe you think you should trade one of them away and get someone else. I don't know, but just let me know whoever you think down below. Personally, I think Purdy has earned the start for this season if he's able to go. If he is not able to go and it turns out, he needs a few more weeks, in my opinion, you go with Trey Lance. I think Darnold, you've seen what he can do. Why don't you just go with Trey Lance, see if he can actually perform how you've hoped he can, and then if he struggles, put in the guy that you already kind of know what to expect from with Darnold and wait till Purdy gets back. But I think Lance does deserve another shot. But like I said before, it doesn't always work that way, unfortunately. It would really suck if that's how it goes, but there's not much you can do about it. Guys, also want to show this just real quick. This is how it stands as of right now. Purdy is the starter, and then Darnold, and then Lance. As I said just before, personally, I think you give Lance a shot before Darnold because I think you've not wasted, but you used a lot of draft capital on him. You might as well see if he can maybe turn out to be, even if maybe not your guy, just at least get some, trade interest. Maybe you can still get something for him rather than just kind of have that 3rd pick go to waste. And maybe you should have got someone else at the time. Who knows? But Yeah, this is where it stands as of right now. Let me know down below what you guys think this should look like, if this is correct, or you want to move that around a bit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with it. I think Purdy's a starter. I think he earned it. When a guy comes in there like that and he, I mean, nearly takes you to the Super Bowl, and, you know, I'm not sure how you can justify starting someone else over him. But if he's not ready to go, there is a decision to be made, and that's when it's going to get a little interesting of who kind of goes where. But thank you guys for watching. I do really appreciate it. This is definitely one of the more interesting kind of player prediction videos because it wasn't just one player. It was kind of a whole position, really. But you guys seem to be enjoying the series. I like doing this a lot. And like I said before, we're going to continue doing tier list videos, team predictions whenever we're done with players. We're about halfway done. And then we'll be doing full team stuff where we'll talk about like their schedule, offense and defense both, and predict their records going next season. Also for NFL videos, we do week picks when the season's going on. I also do Madden videos, and for my Madden viewers, it's been probably about 2 weeks since my last video. I know, I'm aware. We have more videos coming this week. It's been a minute. The game's just kind of slow, but now we have some new promos coming, so that'll be back very soon as well. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.